Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Resilience Challenge. My name is Allison Livingston, and I am so excited to be doing this. We're talking about building resilience, and resilience means being able to bounce back when life throws you a curveball, when your child screams no, when a pet is sick, when you lose your job, when your health is in trouble, when your child's health is in trouble, when there's conflict in the family and difference. There's just so many reasons why resilience is important. And one of the best skills I know is to practice life-saving listening as a way to build resilience. Because one of the things that has hindered me in being resilient is to be afraid of feeling hard emotions, uncomfortable emotions, like fear, like sadness, like embarrassment, like shame, like overwhelm. And instead of really embracing and being with what is, I will instead try to protect myself with numbing, with social media, with another glass of wine, with a distraction, with blaming someone else. Brene Brown calls this offloading our emotions. And there's so many ways we try to argue with what is, and we try to avoid it because it's uncomfortable. And so this is a practice to safely, with support, with warmth, allow us to have a redo and listen to our hearts. So I'm really excited you're here to share this practice, and we are going to get to practice it after we just go over a few things. So who am I? I have been studying this work for over 15 years. It's grounded in nonviolent communication, Marshall Rosenberg. And also I've done a lot of work in classes with Brene Brown and her work with shame and resilience and wholeheartedness, and many, many other wisdom seekers. Dan Siegel's Lid Flipped When We're Triggered is foundational to my work. So I started all this when I was a very competent worker and was very, I guess I would say I was competent and accomplished in what I did. I did things well. I was a good girl. I was a perfectionist. And then I had my first daughter, and she had all these emotions that I had kind of walled myself off and stopped having because they were so uncomfortable. And here she was angry, and she would yell, and she would have a tantrum, and my gosh, then her sister came along and she had them too, and they were not orderly and predictable, and they rocked my world. So I learned all of this because I would get triggered. And my first was a really strong-willed child, and she has taught me so much about myself. So this is a lot grace and thanks to her. So these skills come from that. So I want to just talk a little bit about sort of the overview of what life-saving listening is and how we can use it. You don't have to have any experience to get so much out of it. It's a gift to be able to be heard and seen and accepted in a safe, supported environment. And it helps us to take off our filters and to really be vulnerable, practice vulnerability, and be able to explore things that we aren't able to in our normal life. It's fast paced, and many of the people we live with, including ourselves, have habits of judging as a way to protect themselves, or blaming, or comparing, or numbing, or shoulding, all these things. So we're here to have this be a judgment-free zone and just a place of safety. And the structure that we'll use, the ground rules are that whatever is said in life-saving listening is confidential and doesn't get repeated or even addressed outside this safe space. And then that you each make an agreement to not should, not judge, not compare, not tell a relating story, but just to basically be a mirror, be a warm presence, give your full attention, and just let them, it really helps them hear themselves, the speaker. So that's really the way it is safe, because of this warm presencing, and also because you're not interrupted. So you get to just explore. So let me just talk a little bit about what it is. It's a very unique way to have this exchange of listening and sharing. And again, you are able to be seen and heard and accepted, which is such a deeply held need. It's a chance to be open and real without the threat of judgment or a fix-it, or sort of taking you out of where you are. It's a warm witness to allow you to explore hard feelings and being uncomfortable and not being alone. It's a safe space to be able to do this. So why it matters. This has changed my life. This practice I've done for 15 years. And it allows me to take off my hats. I wear a lot of different hats. Some of them are my help fix it hat, because I really like to problem solve and fix things as opposed to feel uncomfortable about them. Another hat I wear is, it's very serious. We need to really focus on this. It's serious. And that's usually, or now is a clue to me that I'm off track. I'm not connected with myself. I'm in protection, being safe mode, because I'm trying to avoid feeling fear or overwhelm, or something's out of control, or I don't know. So I'm talking a lot. I want to get to your part, but it's a way of taking off those hats. The other one is I should, you should. It's a way of taking off these hats so that we can just be with someone else and reflect back to them. So the way it's going to work is that, and the last thing I'm going to say is why this matters is most of us don't get this opportunity to be able to be raw and real and feel safe practicing vulnerability in our daily lives. And so it's very rare, and we really need it to be able to build resilience. So it's a special time. It's addictive, I warn you. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to give a brief demo in just a minute. We're going to do a centering, and then the way the breakouts of the one-on-one time is that you each will get a minute to just break the ice, tell each other about your families, about what you like to do in your spare time, just kind of have a little connection time. And then there'll be a transition that you'll see, and then the person with the shortest hair will go first, and they will be the speaker, and they get to share whatever they want. There are prompts that I'll put in the chat, but they can speak about whatever they want. They can talk about a celebration. That's one of the prompts. You can talk about something you're proud of. You can talk about what bedtime is like in your home. And you can also talk about a recent time that you were triggered. Or you can talk about who listened to you as a child. And let's see, what's one other? I think those are the biggest ideas, just enough. And you can also just speak with whatever's on your heart. Say what's alive for you, what's a struggle or what's a joy. So you'll get a chance to share one of those things. Then you'll have 3 minutes to just express what wants to come. I don't always know what I'm gonna say. So it's just be present. We're gonna take 5 deep breaths in between and just see what comes. There's no way to do this wrong. That's a really important part. There's no way to do it right. There's no way to do it wrong. There's just your experience. Then at the end of the 3 minutes, there'll be a 30-second closing and kind of wrap up what you were saying. And then the listener is going to take a moment to reflect back the most important things that they heard you say, and especially focusing on what they thought you were feeling, or heard you feeling, or said you were feeling, and using the handout that you all should have, the feelings and needs list. So this will be a prompt, so you don't have to think of them out of your head. And on the bottom, there are universal needs values. And so you can say, oh, from your story, it sounds like you were really yearning for connection. Were you wanting understanding? And say these slowly, because it's wonderful when you say it slowly, because it really has a chance to land. Our nervous system really likes that. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I want to say. So then after the 2 minutes of reflection, then you'll both take some deep breaths, just sort of as a clearing, cleansing, and then you will switch roles and give this gift to each other. So that's the way it's going to go. And then we're going to come back as a big group and just debrief about what was interesting, what was surprising, what was hard, what was any ahas that you learned. And so you'll do that. And then that'll be the session. So we're offering these in the Real Peace Place, my membership for parents, as another just glue that helps us really become the best parents we can, because it supports us being less reactive. I have become so much less reactive over the years, having done this experience with a listening partner for years and years. And I can honestly say it has transformed my relationship with my daughters and my husband. And my daughters now teach their friends because it is so valuable to them. And my youngest actually just said to me, she's so appreciated I could hold space for her sadness about our dog not doing well, our 11-year-old dog who has cancer. And just to let her have her tears and her sadness without trying to fix her or rationalize her or try to help her sort of stop feeling, feel better, because it was uncomfortable for me. And instead I could just validate and hold space for her. And she just so appreciates that. It allows her to be raw and real herself. So can't say more about the practice. So let's just do a centering. And then I'm just going to give a quick little demo about what it can look like. So the centering is feel yourself in your body. Take some bigger, deeper, longer breaths. Stretch, especially my shoulders carry a lot of my tension and hard feelings, uncomfortable feelings. They get stuck right here, or they get stuck in my jaw. So just breathe in and out more deeply, more longly. Welcome your whole self here as much as you have access to it. Notice if your thoughts are uncertain, if they're going, what the heck are we doing? Just notice where you are. Keep scanning your body for any tension, any sensation. Give yourself the break of relaxation and putting down any roles, any need to be right or do things well or be good. Just allow yourself to be. No need to do anything. Okay, take another stretch or 2 more deep breaths. Let it out with a little vocalization. Move your jaw. Shrug your shoulders. Just thank yourself for showing up for this. Take some courage. And then welcome yourself back into the room slowly. And so I'm going to share what I have been speaking into my LifeSaving Listening partner about. And it's that my dog is not doing well. She's she's getting to the end of her life, and she's been our emotional support dog through this past hard year and through so much. And she's just been our OB joyful. And it's been hard seeing her go downhill. And so there's a lot of sadness that comes over me. And I feel this in my throat, kind of this heaviness in my chest, some sort of tears forming behind my eyes. And the thing that happened that was triggering recently about this situation is that my husband was making a comment. We've had to change her food because she's not eating. And I've tried to change her food. I think this is the 5th time now in about a week. And I keep buying new things and efforting and really being concerned and responsible and fearful. And so I have really been working at it. And my husband came and said, I don't think this is the right food. I think we should call the vet and ask her. And I took this completely wrong. I didn't take it at face value. I think now looking back underneath, he's stressed and he's afraid and he's sad. And instead of being able to feel all those, because that's very uncomfortable, he's trying to fix it and sort of lash it out or blame me because he's just so uncomfortable inside. But we don't own that, or until we can know to own that, we just do this at each other. And then I got really defensive and I said, I've been trying everything. I have a PhD in our dog. I know her. I went online. I got this video about how to feed dogs with cancer. And that's what I'm trying right now. And it was a hard interaction. It was conflict. And after I was able to do life-saving listening, I was able to see that I was scared and just really avoiding that. And instead of seeing underneath my husband of his fear and his concern for our dog, I just got angry. And I could see that. And I could see that I was really needing connection with him, support. And I was needing a good cry because I'm just not ready to lose our dog. So it's having this time of structure and someone paying attention and someone just holding space for me that allowed me to get underneath the surface and really intuit what was going on, so that then I could go back to my husband and make a repair, and I could feel more peace and ease in my own body. So that is an example of something that you could share about. And it helps, again, get out of our heads and just what we're thinking about it, and into our body, into our heart, into our gut, and where our needs are. So I want to leave that with you, and I'm going to send you off into breakout rooms. And again, I hope you'll be wanting to do this more and more and more. It is vulnerable. Vulnerability is hard. It takes courage, but there are so many benefits. And again, we practice this in the Real Peace Place, and we'll be able to get an offer about that at the end of this resilience challenge. So thanks and have a great day.